Let's keep moving on here. Alrighty, the Broncos picking at number 9 in this year's draft. Still they're high on Drew Lock, they say, but they are in the market for a quarterback to add competition. So the Broncos could potentially get a quarterback there at the number 9 overall pick. But let's see what what quote do we got here? This is the general manager. I think it's the general manager for the Broncos. So here we go. The general manager for the Broncos on this year's draft. Here we go. We've done the whole process. We're still working through it. One thing I'd like to mention is we do like Drew Lock. We have a quarterback in place. So if it doesn't work out where we don't draft one, we're really high on Drew. But with that said, we're going to look at every option at quarterback and every other position as well. All right, another quote here, and then we'll talk about it a little deeper. So we do like Drew Lock. What we don't want to do is force it and bring in a guy, overpay a guy to come in, and maybe he's not as good as the guy we have. Maybe he's not good enough to compete. We want to get this right. We want to get the right guy. We still have time. And then another quote here, last quote, there's a trade market. We have the draft. The landscape may change after the draft. A team drafts one. Maybe the quarterback's on the market. We're going to be patient, not force it. But we do realize we want competition. And I've said it since I've got here, and that hasn't changed. So they are, saying, hey, we still like Drew Lock, but, if we can get a quarterback, we're going to get a quarterback because we need competition, because we saw what Drew Lock did last season with no competition. I mean, floundered big time, played 13 games, but still only won 4 games like he did in 2019 when he only played 5 games. He won 4 games. So played so many more games, didn't get any more wins. His completion percentage was 57%. That is absolutely garbage in this league, especially last year. Like we said, we saw a lot of inflated completion percentage numbers last season. Josh Allen was 69, Aaron Rodgers was 70. So we've seen these kind of they're just inflated this year for some reason, whether it was the shorter season with COVID, defenses not being that good, more passing kind of plays over than running, and that kind of has been the direction the NFL has moving these last kind of 3-4 years. More heavy passing game, less running game. So Drew Lock having a low completion percentage this year was absolutely not very good. The interceptions was absolutely garbage. 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. That's 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, and that is not good in this league, folks. Carson Wentz had 15 interceptions this season, and they just got rid of him. The Eagles just got rid of their guys. So that has been there for, 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 seasons. So, you really can't turn over the ball. He also fumbled the ball a lot. When I was looking at this, he fumbled 8 times last season, so still a turnover-prone machine and just not resulting in wins. So, yeah, they should be cautious, on Drew Lock. Let's go out and see what we can get in this draft. And we see that they are picking 9 here in the draft, this Denver Broncos team. And we know Jacksonville's taking a quarterback. We know they're getting Trevor Lawrence, so that's not what the Broncos can get. Then the Jets, we know they're picking a quarterback at number 2. We're really not sure which one they're going after, but what we've all been hearing is that they're going after Zach Wilson, so he's going to be off the board. We know the 49ers are getting a quarterback, and we think that they're going to go get Justin Fields, so he's going to be off the board. Atlanta doesn't seem like they're going to pick a quarterback. I would be honestly shocked if they did. They're either going to trade back or go get another weapon defensively, probably at number 4. So they're not going to get a quarterback there. Number 5 for Cincinnati, they've got Joe Burrow. They're not going to move off of him. Dolphins, we have 2. We're not moving off of him. Detroit at 7 could also get a quarterback. We're really not sure how they're, Dan Campbell's feeling about Jared Goff, if they're going to rock with him for the year or bring in a quarterback. I think it would be stupid to get a quarterback. You've got a year 1 quarterback. You've got kind of a bridge quarterback. You've got a veteran quarterback that can kind of help out Dan Campbell's, first year as a head coach. So I would go and get kind of a weapon, improve your offense, improve your defense, so you don't have to keep going through, transition building years. You've got a decent, starting veteran quarterback that can kind of elevate other guys around him a little bit. So go and get a piece offensively, defensively, shore up your team a little bit. I would be kind of surprised, and I would be a little disgusted if the Detroit Lions win and got a quarterback at number 7. We know the Panthers aren't getting a quarterback. They moved off of Teddy Bridgewater to go for Sam Darnold. So Denver at number 9 has their kind of pick of Mac Jones or Trey Lance if they want to gamble. I wouldn't go Mac Jones. I don't think Mac Jones is that much better than Drew Lock. I mean, I'm saying Mac Jones is going to flounder in this league, folks. I don't think Mac Jones is going to be good. You can take the kind of risk on Trey Lance. It's a little bit of a, it is a little bit of a heavier risk in this year's draft just because he played in the FCS and not the FBS. Only had really one good season. He is a good dual threat quarterback, but we know he doesn't really like to slide that much. He likes to kind of deliver the big hit, get all the yards he can. So if the Broncos want to take a shot at quarterback, I think their really only real solid option here is Trey Lance here. So we'll see if they go out and get him. I mean, the Broncos, they don't need a running back. They don't need a wide receiver. So if they want to shore up their line at number 9, if they want to get a defensive player at number 9, that's fine. But they can also still get that quarterback at number 9. They want to bring up that competition. Or they can, like they said, they can kind of wait until after the draft. I mean, there's still Teddy Bridgewater out there, folks. He's going to not be on the Panthers. They gave him, the clearance to go and seek a trade. So maybe the draft's over. Or maybe even during the draft, hey, we'll give a second round pick for Teddy Bridgewater. What do you say? And they say, alrighty. And now they got other picks, maybe shore up their defense. They've got the quarterback to go out and compete with Drew Lock. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, I think Teddy Bridgewater wins that all day, but that would definitely push Drew Lock, and that's what Drew Lock needs. He needs somebody to push them, because if he's the guaranteed guy, he's going to go 4-9, throwing 15 interceptions, not competitive in this league. So we'll see what happens here with the Broncos. They seem to kind of, they seem to be very confident and calm going into this year's draft. They've got the supporting cast around Drew Lock. Like I said, Jerry Jeudy. They still got Melvin Gordon. Unfortunately, they got rid of Philip Lindsay, but you still got one good running back as well. So we'll see what they do here. They're open to all their solutions here, and I think that's kind of how you have to go into this year's draft, because really nothing's set in stone. And the COVID season maybe have inflated some players. We haven't seen a lot of players in this year's draft play last season because they opted out, so it's going to be real wonky in this year's draft. Try not to kind of overreach in this year's draft, because this draft is going to be full of busts, and that's kind of what I'm going to be thinking out here, just of how the college season happened last year. A lot of players opting out, not playing kind of, it's all inter-conference competition, so playing kind of, if you're in a bad conference, you're playing against bad competition. Yeah, maybe you're good, but you're good against bad competition, maybe elevating or inflating your own kind of draft stock a little bit just based on last year alone. So Broncos say they're really high on Drew Lock, but they do want competition, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what they do in the draft at number 9.